why party at the end of the week, or we can party on a Sunday. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Party on a Podcast with yours truly, Marked. I have a super dope artist. I always have super dope artists on this podcast. Let's be real here. But I actually got to open for this guy a couple years ago, or a few years ago now. I'm not even sure the timeline, but I'm pretty sure the first time performing on the same stage with this guy was for Mocha Only in Halifax. This guy has 10 plus albums, I'm pretty sure, out right now. 10 that I could find on Apple Music anyways. And he's got his own podcast, merch. This guy's multifaceted. I think he operates his own entertainment company. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one and only Robbie G.
Yo.
What's good, my dude?
Not much. Just enjoying the perfect weather out here. It's literally the perfect temperature right now.
What's perfect for you?
Not too hot and not too cold. So that's right around that, probably like 28, 30.
Yeah, that's what it is here too. Perfect. Except ours is like a humid, so it's kind of a little bit less appealing. But I'll take the heat any day.
Yeah, much better than the winter time. But yeah,
yeah, you're not kidding.
Perfect out here. I'm loving it. It is a bit smoky. There's a lot of fires going on in BC right now, so the air is kind of hazy.
Right.
So definitely sending some thoughts and prayers out to all the people who are affected by the fires. Like it's really crazy. There's whole towns and villages that have gone up in smoke over the last few weeks here. So it's crazy.
It's definitely unfortunate to put it very lightly. I mean, these things happen. This is a time of year for those things to happen, and it's no shortage of upsetting and disappointing and emotional for sure. I mean, I couldn't imagine. I'm on the East Coast, so we don't see that kind of stuff, but I couldn't even imagine beginning to deal with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, we're gonna all be experiencing some weird stuff happening soon. No matter where you are, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
With the weather changing and stuff, and with everything, I don't know how often they experience this, but I was just seeing video of it's flooding in Calgary right now.
Flooding.
Yeah, they got I saw full videos of like vans and cars like going through.
That's crazy.
Water all the way up to like their door handles. Like driving through lakes on the road. So yeah, I mean, and hurricanes and stuff happening a lot more. We got some friends down in Bocas, which is just off the coast of Panama, and they got hit with a hurricane recently, and it ripped their restaurant to pieces.
That's so crazy, man.
There's some craziness going on, man, with the weather and everything. Humans are slowly, within the next 5-10 years, going to realize the impact that we're putting on the planet, and we're going to have to do a
you're not kidding. But I mean, it's going to unfortunately be a reactive thing as opposed to a proactive thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But that is kind of humans in a nutshell, in a sense. Like, we're go and get yourself hurt, and then you find out, oh shoot, maybe I shouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
yeah
Just kind of what ends up happening. It's I wish we could plan better collectively as a whole to try and stop this kind of stuff from happening, but I think it's sadly a part of human nature. It's just what we fall on our faces and then get back up and keep walking forward, and fall on our faces and get back up. And it's just, maybe one day the utopia will arise, and the world will be a beautiful place with no disease and no plagues and no coronavirus and no governments trying to control the populations. And maybe one day.
There's hope. You gotta have some kind of hope, right?
am hopeful. I'm a glass half full kind of guy.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff, my dude. So, although that is probably one of the best intro conversations I think I've had on this show so far, we're taking a deep dive into who you are as an artist. For the people that don't know, from all walks of life, that take in podcasts or watch YouTube videos, because this is essentially an extension of that as well. But where does Robbie G begin? Where did Robbie G begin? Like, what's the origin story of Robbie G?
I started rapping in high school, and just me and my friends. One of my buddies came over and showed us a rap. He's like, yeah, I wrote a rap. And I was like, damn, that's pretty cool. And I was writing poetry and stuff at the time, so I figured, you know, I could give it a shot and just put on beats. And, you know, I was inspired by artists like Eminem, 50 Cent and stuff. That's kind of like what I started on, and then developed into like finding out about, you know, other Tribe Called Quest, Nas, Guru, you know, Ludacris and Nelly, and all the like people that we would listen to and party into in high school and stuff like that. And, you know, just kept writing and recording every single day. That was just all that we did. Come home from school and we'd go and get the recording shit set up and just start recording and just, you know, produce songs and record all night. And we put together a website and started releasing music. I had like, we'd record on little cassette tapes and play them on the announcements in school.
Yeah.
And yeah, kind of like slowly got our feet wet there. And then events, you know, just started running events as a necessity, because I was going to high school in Center Wellington, which is in a small town called Fergus, just north of Guelph. And it's you know, nothing's going on there. No, not like any hip hop, no hip hop scene at all, really. So
right.
If you want to do a performance or you want to try and do something, you have to set it up yourself. So that's what kind of birthed my company, Revolution Media, out of necessity for just putting on my own events and giving myself and my friends a stage to perform on, a platform to be able to showcase the talent. So yeah, built from there and just stayed consistent. You know, I've been, like you said, released 10 albums every year. I've got another project coming out, and I'm always staying active on the roads, touring a lot. I love doing shows. I love connecting with people on the road, and you know, kind of the reason why I do this and my whys and my purpose for making music is to kind of help other people. I feel like I've learned a lot in my life, and even at a young age had taken in so much information. And I encourage so many people to like read and to do research and to empower themselves to follow their dreams, basically, to do what you want to do with your life, and know that you have the capability and the power to do that if you choose to really use your mind and apply yourself, learn, you know, all of the skills in your trade that you can learn, read books, like get mentors in your life that are at a higher level than you that you can kind of learn from and mirror off of. And you know, just encouraging people to do their own thing and to follow their own path and to find the things that they really love doing, and to cultivate that and to work on themselves more than working on, you know, something for somebody else. So yeah, I feel like that's a big message in my music, and kind of the reason why I do what I do is to empower people to recognize that they can do you know, just what I've done with my life or with anything really. And you know, the biggest reward for me is seeing artists and seeing other people around me, seeing fans, seeing people like looking up to me or saying like, hey, like, because you did this, I did that, and now I'm here. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you to lit a fire under me to like want to go after my dreams, and you know, I went to school for this, and I never would have done that if it wasn't for you, you know,
Right.
pushing me to do that. And like, I'm not even physically me saying like, yo, it's just through the music and what I'm and the example that I lead that gives them that that inspiration to want to do it for themselves. So that's what I do. That's what I am, and that's who I am. And I love what I do. I'm blessed to make music for a living, and to have fans that care about me, and to have set up my business in a good way to make my life a life that I enjoy and a life that I create. So yeah, super thankful for everybody that listens, everybody that checks out the music, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to continuing the journey and continuing to keep on putting out more music. I just released a new album last week called Life Keys, so that's out now. And yeah, I'm just, you know, steady working on new stuff, and can't wait to get back to doing live shows and big events and stuff again.
Not gonna lie, you probably just answered a good 3 or 4 questions with that statement. But I mean, that's exactly what I kind of wanted to hear. I mean, I was looking for inspirations. You gave me those from the jump, like the 50 Cents, the Eminems that started you, the Ludacris and the Nellies that you were raised on as well. Right up until like what your routine is like. But I mean, I guess we haven't really touched on that in depth, but basically what makes you stand out as an artist is the want to help others, but at the same time build a platform that's going to allow you to do so without forcing it, without forcing yourself upon others as well. Your music speaks for itself. It has a volume of its own. And just being able to see that and hear it come from you, I mean, it shows your passion. But like, I don't have to say that for people to know your passion for the music. Like you said, like I said, you've dropped 10 albums and one every year, you said. And that speaks volumes to a lot of people, because that's consistency that a lot of people that are not ready or don't feel like they're ready to follow their dreams yet. And seeing that kind of dedication even helps me, because I mean, I've been in a rut lately just with the whole COVID thing, with trying to get things back on a roll on a steady pace. That's
what do you mean? Like what's got you in a rut?
Well, just dealing, well, I've been trying to get multiple things on the go. It's just the fact that I think it's more stuck on if the music needs to be released or if it's good enough to be released. And as of lately, I think I've decided that whether or not it's ready to be released, it's stuff that I need to get out. It's stuff that happened and reflects a time in my life that I just need to let people know, because it's some of it's darker stuff, some of it's positive, but at the same time, it's stuff that I've just been holding on to because of fear of acceptance of the music, of like the quality, or not even necessarily the quality, just the content in the music. Just because as of over the last like year or two, I've not decided, but taken a step outside of my comfort zone, instead of just being like a rapper and becoming more of just a well-rounded artist, and bringing in the whole songwriting, singing as well. I mean, I haven't touched on production, which I would like to do eventually, but my plate's quite full as it is right now. I mean, I say full, but then I look at your plate and it almost looks like I'm half full on my plate. But
don't worry, bro. I delegate a lot. Some people are like, how you do what you do? I'm like, bro, I'm a good delegator. I know how to do, and I wear a lot of hats, and I slip in and out where I need to. But learning all those things is great too. I picked up a lot of production in the last year. I was getting back into making beats and learning how to chop up my videos now. So I'm editing videos. But like, yeah, learning, the more things you can learn, the more tricks of the trade that you can pick up along the way. As a musician, definitely does make you a more well-rounded artist. Even just understanding video clips and how to cut through that, way more able to communicate to your videographer, this is what I kind of want, or this is the way the cut should be, because you already know how to do it from doing it yourself, right? Or
Right.
just recognizing a certain shot or where the sun should be. When you spend time like editing your own videos, you notice little nuances and things, and you're just like, shit, I need to be more cognizant of that when I'm actually shooting the video. Same thing with producing or singing or anything, right? Like it all helps feed the next thing. But yeah, it sounds like you're in a good space. It sounds like you're just maybe overwhelmed. Is that the case?
It could be. Like I've gone over the music that like either just needs to be finished writing, recorded, or finished mixing, and I have at least like 2 albums worth of music, and like I don't know why I'm sitting on it, but I mean I feel like I just need to hunker down and just finish it and decide which tracks go better together and come up with either multiple projects for it, as in like EPs or albums, or just start releasing them one after another, just to at least start getting them out, you know?
Yeah, and I would advise this is like, do you use SoundCloud at all?
I do.
So SoundCloud's a great spot to put like unmixed versions of your songs, or like just an idea or stuff like that, or even a half of a song or whatever. You don't have to put the whole song up. You just put up a little snippet, and then it gives you, one, a good judge because people will let you know what they think of it, and 2, you don't feel as pressured to like make it perfect before you release it because it's just a SoundCloud release. So yeah, I'd do that. And then also, do you fuck with TikTok at all? Are you on TikTok?
Yeah.
That's another great way that I've seen friends of mine. I don't use it as much as I probably should, but I've seen a lot of my friends use it in a great way to kind of like showcase unmixed stuff, or kind of stripped down versions, or just play the listening to their song in the studio and be like, hey, what do you think of this? And use those as a great way to be able to test out
I've definitely underestimated the value of TikTok, especially with this past year. I mean, it's because being able to use it as that small of a tool, but that small of a tool is so useful in the same sense.
It's basically, yeah, like, in the old days, to get a judge of how good your music is, you would have to send it in to blogs or to people who would do album reviews or something like that, and they would take in your music and they would give you this weird kind of answer based on them writing all of these reviews for all these different albums, and sometimes they wouldn't even really be particularly into your music and they'll write a review on it. But now you have instant access to free reviews from people who actually give a fuck about what you do. True. And care about your genre and stuff, and that's literally every social media platform available right now. That's what comments are, you know what I mean? Is like, you can find out, you can get a good gauge off of comments, but at the same time, you don't want to get stuck into comments, because sometimes people fucking will comment shit that's like complete bullshit, or like just straight haters will just say some random stuff, and you'll be like, hey, I got 10 comments that were completely positive, and this one that was obviously someone who just doesn't like me, you know what I mean? No matter what I release, it's not going to please them anyway. So but yeah, I mean, you literally have the ability to get feedback from people like right on the spot. And then the other piece of advice I could offer is like doing the live performances. Like, I've been doing online shows on Facebook every single week since the pandemic started, and that's been like crucial to be able to showcase new tracks. Like, every week I've come up with a new song of some sort, and I would share it with the people at the end of the show. If they stuck around to the end of the show, I share the new song with them and get an instant feedback of like,
right.
We'll be like, yo, this is fucking fire, or like, kind of cool, or like, yeah, I like this a little bit, or like, you know what I mean? Like, they give the feedback, and it's really easy to tell which songs are like really catching on and which ones were like, this one's not really hitting that hard, you know what I mean? So really easy to tell. Which, like, the only way to really do that before is by doing a live show, literally, is like performing it in front of people and judging on the crowd how the song hits. that's your judge. But even that can be skewed sometimes because you're in front of different crowds, and like some crowds will love one song that another crowd will completely hate. So it's like
this is also true.
You at the end of the day too, when it comes to releasing music and the fear that you have with it, because every artist experiences is that, and I deal with it too, is you have to recognize the fact that not everyone is going to love everything that you do. You're never going to be able to please everybody. Talib Kweli said that in a rhyme once, and it really fucking resonated and stuck with me. It was just the fact that you're never ever going to be able to please everyone. So don't try to, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just do what feels, as long as it feels good to you. And at the end of the day, if you have like goosebumps when you listen to it, or you have some emotional reaction, or you feel good in any way, put it out. If it doesn't give you any of those feelings, fucking leave it in the chamber and don't put it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
That's kind of my vibe when it comes to the breaking through that fear of like not being sure about what to release or what the reaction's going to be, or you know, you're like, I've been doing the same shit again and again and again, like what is really going to be the one that takes off and you know, it, you know, really becomes that track that is a hit for you. But it's just consistency, just keep on cranking them out, and you have to release them. The more that you hang on to and hold on to songs, the more they rot.
True.
You know what I mean? They'll literally food, it literally rots sitting on your shelf. So don't let your songs rot. Like, give them life and put them out there and let them get watered and grow into massive trees of fruition and potential money trees, right? Like if a song placed on a movie or gets picked up on the radio, or you know, inspires somebody, you know, any of those types of things, like it's a good thing. So try and break through that fear if you're in that rut. I feel you though, you know. An artist, you can get in those spots. And even working on this album, there's a few times where I was just like, oh well, is it done yet? Do I have all the tracks that I wanted? There's a couple other things that I wanted to add to the album that didn't end up getting added to it. You know, things like that, little frustrations that like go through my mind, but the listener never experiences that, or never understands that thing. So they're gonna love it regardless. Right now it's super critical of my album when I was listening back to it, and then just like, you know, hearing feedback from a few people and like key people in my life that I really trust their opinions on. I was like, yeah, fuck it, like this thing's ready to go, let's get it out there. So yeah, and yeah, if I had just kept on sitting on it like I probably could have, I would be regretful for sure. And the people who want to hear it would be like, what the fuck.
Yeah, but I mean, I appreciate it, man.
Keep on dropping, man. Don't worry about it, and break through that fear, because that fear is let it be a motivator. Don't let it be something that makes you stagnant and makes you sit and never release anything.
Fair enough. No, I appreciate that. I do.
A lot of artists do that shit, dude. A lot of artists do that shit, and they sabotage themselves, bro. You don't even know, man. I've been in. No, you really don't know, bro. Like, I've been around and seen, and I'm sure other artists can relate to this story of going into other people's studios and listening to songs that they have on their hard drive that are fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. I've hung around with, chilled with, and had the pleasure of being in studio sessions and in studios with artists that are, in my opinion, way more talented than me, and yet they're not getting anywhere with their music because they've literally just been sitting on it and not putting it out, and not having the self-confidence in themselves to just fucking get it out there, and just always wanting to be a perfectionist and nitpicking and tweaking and then never releasing. And it's like, you got to put it, the guys who are popping like crazy are the ones that are just in the studio knocking out like 10-20 fucking songs in a weekend, and then putting out records like consistently. They got 2-3 mixtapes dropping every year, and they're fucking on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're an artist, like, you should just be making music, creating it, and putting it out there. I feel like, and I and that's me talking to myself too, because sometimes I slack on that aspect. It takes me a while to get a project done. Sometimes I feel like, and I'm like, fuck, I'm sitting on really good songs. Like even now, I'm sitting on some really good songs that I didn't even add on this into this album, and I'm just kind of like hanging on to them. And I'm like, why don't I put them out? I need to put them out, but there's something where I'm still like, I feel like I'm missing
I know the feeling.
And sometimes I should just be like, fuck it, just send it and
let
see
the universe deal with it.
Exactly. Obviously, do the marketing and promotion and whatnot. Do, you know, you can't just like drop it out there and hope that it's going to do good, and you know, fucking,
of course,
that definitely doesn't work either. But consistency is key, and just dropping it. Who are the people that you're looking to right now for inspiration that are doing what you want to be doing?
Are you actually asking me, or are you saying that as a?
No, I'm asking.
That are like, who inspires me right now with the way that they're making moves and stuff?
Exactly.
Right now, I think as much as they're like, because I look up to like A-list artists, but I feel like I associate a little bit better with B or C, or I don't like even labeling them with those fucking letters, but like the way that like the Kid Leroy has come up, Cal Scrooby is one that I've been paying attention to a lot lately.
I think it's Cal Scrubby, but I think not Scrooby, but I might
see,
be
but
wrong.
I see Scrubby as a double B, so that's why I say Scrooby, but I could be wrong.
I think it's Cal Scrubby. I think he said it on records, but yeah, he's pretty dope too. He just released a record with Easy Mac. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, so that I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah, it's not that I don't know how to say his name. Is like clearly.
I know, no. It's all good. I just wanted to correct you now, so that
fair. I got you. So I don't say it.
Yeah. You don't say it like that again. I be fucking up people's names all the time too, man. People have all sorts of weird, strange names.
Russ has been one that I've had my eyes on for quite a few years now. Mm-hmm. Just the guys that are changing the landscape of how things are running, how independent artists can be really looked at in a sense, and just being able to not necessarily follow the template that like all these major successes have come from, and they're still making it work and making it work for them. So like those three alone are ones that I seem to pay attention to. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like I still like to add my own style and everything to the way that I release, create, and put together my tracks and everything. But those are definitely influences big time. Mm-hmm. So
solid picks.
Yeah, man. What about yourself right now? Like if you were to pick right now, top three.
Dax is moving pretty strong.
Yeah.
I love what he's doing. Russ is definitely on my radar. I check out everything that he drops. He's been on my radar for a while.
Yeah.
And who else is really smashing? I mean, I know he gets a lot of hate, but Tom McDonald, the way that he's fucking blown up in the last few years, like it's crazy.
Yeah. Oh. Did we lose connection here?
When he was first, popping, like, or first on his come up, and just seeing his growth over the years is it's pretty crazy. Just the consistency and understanding marketing, Tech, obviously Tech9 is huge, and their whole label and everything they do. Keeping eyes on them. But I love hearing like random success stories of people that just like get to, big records that blow up. The homie Curtis Waters, Baby No Dollars, you know, people here in this country that kind of like just got some big success over the past year. My buddy A3347, he's fucking just crushing it right now. Yeah, it's amazing to see what you can do online, and just putting it out there, and see, if, like I said, with consistency, if you're just
Yeah,
consistent, you keep putting music out, you believe in yourself, you don't let the doubt come in, you don't let the haters and naysayers pull you down, and you just keep on going. You have your
horse
blinders on,
blinders.
and you
Yeah,
just keep on fucking, you can't lose in this industry or in any industry if you really just keep going. And the biggest thing that makes a lot of artists stop or lose is when they hit that wall, and then they fall down, and then they don't get back up again. They say, oh, I'm going to turn around and head that direction. As soon as they do that, it's all over.
yeah, fair enough, man.
So yeah, I'm looking at all the artists that are just moving,
Yeah,
no
but
matter.
that's the motivation though, because I mean, like I do have the blinders pulled back every now and again, or most of the time right now, just with everything that's been going on this year, the focus just hasn't been there, which is kind of understandable, but on me for sure. But at the same time, like it's not like I have to start focusing now, because like there's no excuse anymore. Not that there was, I can't keep saying that either though, because there was no excuse before, but we're coming back to normal now, at least getting closer to normal as far as like doing shows like live again in person, and being able to create a set when I don't have new music is hard to do. So getting that music done, getting that music created and finished, at least to the point of being able to release it, like we were talking about, is something that I feel like is definitely on me, and definitely something I have to put into action a lot sooner than later. Just sitting on it's a little too much. It catches up with me, and like I said, it's not over. It is a little overwhelming, but it's just the fact that like I think just sitting on it too much is making me second guess it in a sense. So, but yeah.
So what do you think you could do to get your focus more back onto what it needs to be on, like how to get those blinders back into place?
Well, I'm starting, like I've been trying to reach out to people just to get like feedback on tracks, and like people that I trust with feedback, and being like sending them all the rough mixes and what I have so far of those tracks. Not the SoundCloud version, like you said, which I probably will take that advice for sure, but sending it out to people that I trust and are willing to give me creative feedback and positive feedback, but constructive. That's the word I was looking for. Constructive feedback, and move forward with it that way, because I think to get the base started with those tracks, because I think not that I need like a yes man, because I hate that idea. It's just the fact that I need something that's going to allow me to at least get a direction on which stuff is working, which stuff isn't working, which stuff I need to work on. So I think that's the main focus is trying to get some outside feedback that's going to allow me to either have some reassurance to the tracks that I feel sound really good, and some constructive feedback for the stuff that could use work or may not work the best anyways.
Sounds like you need an executive producer. You need to hire someone in your friend to be your executive producer. I got to give a big shout out to mine. His name's Matt Bird Atkinson. He's been my executive producer since I started pretty much, and he used to rap as well, but now he's more focused on doing like video stuff, and runs a talent agency. But he's I show him everything, and give him he's kind of either the first or second year that hears anything that I do, and kind of gives me a good feedback on what his thoughts are. And sometimes I don't listen to him, and still put out stuff that he's not jiving with. But generally anytime he's really on to something, it ends up being a big record. So it's super crucial, and
I'll definitely look into it. Definitely have to, because I mean,
urge everyone to find a friend, man. He's my best friend. It's somebody in your circle that like you can really trust, that like has a good ear for music and pays attention to styles of music and the trends and how music's changing and has seen your development or your growth. There's probably somebody in your circle that you have as that person, you just don't even know it yet. So
yeah, something to look forward to, because I mean, it's necessary, to say the least, for sure. It's if I'm gonna go anywhere with this and move any bit forward with the music that I have started or close to finish. So
yeah,
the advice helps, man. It really does. And I honestly didn't expect the podcast to go this way, but I can't hate on it, because it's a beautiful thing. I mean, it was the way the podcast goes, it's just me interviewing you normally, but like it's just been a casual conversation about creativity, positivity, building, moving forward. And it almost makes me want to restructure the whole podcast. But like,
I will tell you this: when it comes to podcasts, it should not feel like an interview. It should feel like a conversation.
Yeah, that's what I like about this. That's what I'm saying. Like I didn't mean to cut you off there. It's just the fact that like it's refreshing to me to just have a conversation, because the idea of it being an interview is now seeming a little forced as opposed to a conversation.
It totally is, bro. And like the regular questions that most people have for interviews, like, oh, who influenced you, or who did that? Artists who get interviewed get those questions all the fucking time, and they're sick of it, to be honest. And like the people that I do podcasts with or interviews with, when I used to do the interviews on the radio show, like I always kept it very free flowing, have a few prepared questions, but always have the questions be something super. If I have a question written down and I think it's a question that somebody else could have already asked that artist, I don't even ask the fucking question. You know what I mean?
Fair. Yeah.
Not even worth it. That artist has already answered that question. And if fans of that artist are fans of that artist, they've watched their interviews already on YouTube where they've answered those questions. So I don't need to get them to regurgitate the same shit. My questions are always going to be like, fucking, it's the flat earth. Like, do you believe in that shit? You know what I mean? Like, you get a BOB talking about shit like that. It's hilarious. Outside of the box kind of question. Have you done DMT before? Like, fucking, are you into psychedelics? Like, stuff that like kind of makes the person think or talk about something that they wouldn't normally have to talk about on a podcast or on an interview, and always keeping it very, very free flowing. So there's never any point where the conversation transfers into something where you were forcing it into that direction. You're like, okay, it's cool that we're talking about this, but what I really wanted to talk about was that. Like, nah, just let the thing kind of go, and some questions will get answered as they will. And if you have questions that were written down that don't even get answered, like, you don't have to ever get to them.
And that's what I'm loving about this conversation, because like I literally have a list of things that I would at least either cover or ask, and it's like,
well, let's try and rip through them.
No. See, that's all right with me, because this is actually, you've like incidentally answered them regardless of actually me asking them. Like the questions were answered. They were answered, but so what is the word I'm looking for? You know what I mean?
Naturally, you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. They were like, and I didn't have to force the question. They just got covered from you talking about. The only question I feel like I've asked so far is the origin story, and that has incidentally and naturally answered every other question that I've like, that the whole middle section of the interview, this conversation has covered, which is super dope to me already. And I don't like, it almost leaves me happier that I didn't have to ask all these questions.
No, that's it's a teaching. Is there anything on your list though that you wanted to get answered that you didn't get a chance to?
Well, the only thing, like, because I know your business of, I want to say, is it Revolution?
Revolution Media.
I know that's obviously taken a hit with COVID that's come around, and the whole live scene and actually putting on physical shows. Mm-hmm. How do you feel like you've dealt with that transition from being live all the time, doing shows all the time, to not doing shows live at all, to now eventually getting back into shows? Do you feel like the transition coming from where we are now into live shows again, do you think it's going to be a completely different atmosphere, or do you think it's going to be more appreciated, or what do you think the response, I guess, is going to be when it comes to live shows again? Mm-hmm. Are they going to be more sought after or bittersweet, I guess?
Yeah, so I'm in a really fortunate position. My company obviously took a hit like every other entertainment company or any company in the service field, or anybody dealing with people. So yeah, I mean, we had to cancel, like, I think it was like 60 or 70 events. When because basically we book out the whole year. We do about 100 a year, and we book in advance. So yeah, once the news hit, we had to cancel a bunch, reschedule a bunch. There's still tours that we've got organized that have been sitting on the back burner because they're international artists and we can't get them in Canada until the borders open. So that was really interesting to deal with. It was very fucking hectic and like hair pulling out, like for the first 2 to 3 weeks of just like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, of course.
How do we organize this? What's happening here? Taking this tour and moving it to a block in 2021 and taking another tour and moving it to like 2022, and like just all this kind of like weirdness and figuring out how to deal with all the finances and deposits that were sent and what, it was a lot of mayhem for the first few weeks. But then after that, it really settled. It gave everybody a chance to sit back in the back seat. And in this business, it's like super go. Phones all, you're always dealing with calling this agent or calling that artist or figuring out this or booking that venue, or there's so many things going on. And when the pandemic hit, it gave all of us, artists, promoters, everybody alike, a chance to sit back and like reflect on the business and see the spots where we could improve, spots where we could add infrastructure and just make your company better. So I spent a lot of time doing that and just figuring out how to do this better moving forward.
Right.
For myself as an artist last year, like we did get a chance to do shows. Like I'm gung-ho. This pandemic is not, I don't believe in it exactly. Like I believe in parts of it, but there's a lot of it that I think is complete fuckery, and I'm just gonna go and do and live my life the way that I'm supposed to. So I booked a tour last year. I went on the road. I did 25 shows. I think like 13 or 14 solo headline shows, and then a few others with Mad Child, and then I also did another 6 boat parties in Kelowna in the summertime, and we had 0 COVID transmissions through any of those events. Right. No issues. And had a chance to do those events. Those events were incredible. The fans who did get a chance to come out, because it was small capacities, the fans who did come had an incredible experience, incredible time. They were super appreciative, unlike anything ever before. You just, merch is selling a lot more than normal because people are just like, they're so appreciative to be there. And normally they're at like 100 different events all the time, and now there's only 1 or 2 events to go to.
Exactly.
Chance to go to, they're going ham, right? So that was really cool to experience and be a part of, and really happy that we were able to do that last year. And then moving forward this year, I'm in probably like the best position out of anybody that I know as an artist, because I've been practicing for the entire year. I've been doing these shows every single week, plus doing Zoom shows on top of that. and practicing every week and coming out with new songs and practicing them in my studio. So I've literally I don't feel rusty at all. Like most artists that I talk to, they're like, oh, I need to figure out this, I need to figure out what I'm doing for my set, or I need to do this. It's like I already have my show mixes, I've got my whole set figured out for my next tour. I'm so like
Right. Yeah.
it's literally like nothing happened to me, because I've been performing every single week and getting paid for online shows through merchandise sales and through fans being awesome, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just and me staying consistent with that, right? Like I can make just as much off an online show as I can off of doing a regular show now, just because I've built that to that point,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, and just as an artist coming back, like it's I'm excited. You know, we've been doing shows. Like I did a show last weekend. I did 3 shows the weekend prior to that. And they've all been sold out. It's, you know, the people are having a blast. They're super appreciative. We've got no masks on out here, which is incredible. So that's super cool. We're back to kind of like it's a normal vibe here. Which is nice, but you know, that'll hopefully change across the country, and things will open up everywhere. But yeah, I mean, we're planning some big outdoor events. We've got a few tours in the works. I'm touring again in September, back out to Ontario, so I've got that coming up. Looking forward to that. But yeah, I think I was reading an article yesterday about like how the industry is going to change. Yes, tickets are going to be more expensive because there's less people that are going to be able to be there, same costs that you got to cover. So tickets are going to be more expensive. They're going to be more limited. The shows are going to sell out a lot faster. Like there's been events coming out here on the West Coast. They're selling out like 5,000 tickets in 6 hours.
That's crazy.
It's literally insane.
But that's dope though.
The demand is so high.
Yeah. So that, I guess that does answer the question, man. Without having to actually answer the question, it's the transition is almost like it's better than it was, in the sense of the fact that the demand is obviously exceeding the supply almost, which is great in this industry where you want to put on shows, but you have to keep putting on shows because shows are selling out.
Yeah. So I mean, it's good. It's great. I'm very cautious because I have a feeling that this is my random prediction, and you can smash it here on your podcast. But I think the government's going to shut down the country in 3 to 4 months, maybe even 2 months.
Think so?
Yeah, they're going to say that this Lambda variant and this Delta variant are too deadly. We need a new vaccine to deal with them, and we got to shut everything down again. This is just my random fucking prediction, but I've seen the way that they've been playing, and I'm watching the news a little bit, and I'm seeing the numbers, and it just things are basically headed in the exact same direction that they've been heading before. And they're going to say, hey, it's a 4th wave, and sorry guys, we let you out for a little bit, but you got to get it back down. And that's going to probably last throughout the winter again. They won't let people out again until probably March or April next year. That's my prediction, and I'm sticking to it. So I'm going to go fucking ham for the next 2 to 3 months.
Exactly.
The window open, and if the window stays open, awesome. If the window closes, I called that.
But you also have the structure to deal with that as well.
Exactly. This whole shit could shut down again tomorrow, and I'm fucking good. You know what I mean? Like I got you. I'm good. I just got, just keep doing exactly what I've been doing, and adapt and mold and make things work as I have to. Yeah, it's this. We're humans. We're able to adapt, man. We can. And the people who don't, people who just think that they can do the same thing they've been doing and never change, like, you will become a dinosaur and you will be extinct. And everybody else who's willing to adapt and change and mold and be like water and be like Bruce Lee says, you got to flow with it. So if you're not like that, you're gonna be left on the fucking shores, like, and everyone else is gonna be flowing down the river.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but I mean, like you said, it's either going to happen or it's not. So, I mean, it's only a matter of time, really. And I mean, I'm not going to argue with you because I mean, opinion is opinion. I honestly don't know what
it's not.
I honestly don't. Yeah, exactly. Well,
I'm not tied to it too. You could be like, I don't think that's gonna happen. I'd be like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be like, no, dude, it's 100% gonna happen. Like, I'm just literally throwing this out there as somebody who's watching what's going on and saying, this is kind of what I feel is where we're headed.
Yeah.
But
I'm just flying by the seat of my pants right now, man. So I'm just, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I mean, you just got to be like you you just got to be prepared for if it does, that you're
prepared, but sometimes not even prepared. I wasn't prepared even when this shit hit. Like,
yeah, of course. How can you?
You change as soon as it fucking hits. As soon as
you adapt.
You gotta learn to roll with the punches and just fucking duck and dodge where you can. Fucking go at it and try and make the most of this life. We've got a chance. We've got an opportunity here. We've only got so much time here, and you know what each person does, and each action, each decision that we make, each thought that we have, each intention that we have, each word that we speak and put into this plane of existence, all of it matters and has a lot of impact, and people need to realize how much impact the words that they say and the thoughts that they have matter. Get rid of this fucking complaining about this other person who's got what you wish you had but you didn't have it yet. Stop fucking worrying about the past. Stop being scared about the future that is not going to happen. Live right now for what you've got and make the most of it, and try to, you know, just live your life and be grateful for the fact that we have this opportunity. And just do it. That's my final thoughts, my final piece to the people is we've got a short time here, so let's make the most of it. And
I like it, man. On that note, I as part of what Party on a Podcast is, it's built off Party on a Sunday. So the only thing that I'm going to ask one more time of you, or the one more thing that I'm going to ask you is favorite Sunday jams, top 3. Just built off the whole Sunday thing, those feel good vibes, whatever you do. If it's a hangover, that song that gets you through that hangover, or whatever the case is. But top 3, either right now or of all time, whichever ones you have on top of your head right now. But Sunday jams.
Like, you just want 3 songs?
Yeah.
3 songs that I like to listen to on a Sunday.
Yeah. I try not to make it too tough. It used to be like a top 3 of all time, and it's like, how can you? I mean, some people can, but I mean, at the same time, top 3 right now works. So.
Yeah. So I'll say there's an artist. I'm gonna try and find if he's got it, if it's on Spotify.
You're a Spotify guy over Apple Music?
Yeah.
Okay. Just curious.
I don't think it is. Easy like Sunday morning. Easy laid back. Is it? Happy laid back. I think that's what it's called. Happy laid back. Powerful, yes. So by King Rain.
Okay.
Which he passed away sadly a few years ago. He's got a song called Happy Laid Back, and this is probably your best Sunday jam that you could ever jam that to. He even says I'm easy like Sunday morning.
It's a classic line.
In college, but I'm looking like a freshman. Live my life like an open book confession. So many people lie because they're looking for some blessings. In the end, it just leads to more stress. Yeah,
this guy is a legend. Goosebumps over my whole face right there. So I'm gonna just leave you with that one. You get one song from me, and that's King, Happy Laid Back.
I'll take it.
Happy Laid Back. That is.
I'll be looking for. I'll add that to the playlist.
I don't even want to disrespect him by saying another different ones. You know.
Fair.
Rest in peace, my dude. You're a fucking legend.
on that note, we'll leave it on a positive note for sure. So with that being said, this concludes the conversation of another episode of Party on a Podcast. Robbie G, I leave you with the floor to plug any side hustles, any socials, anything, any new music, any stuff you want to leave with the people. Floor is yours, my dude. Let them know.
The new album Life Keys is out now everywhere: iTunes, Spotify, Apple, whatever the fuck, wherever you get your music. Tidal, Deezer. Life Keys is out. Go to my website, robbieghiphop.com. All my stuff's on there, all my links. Check out the videos on YouTube. Just dropped a new one for Saucy, featuring my homie Side Neck in there. Got the homie Prada West cameo in that as well. And we got a few more videos that are on the way. So look out for some new visuals. That's pretty much it. And come and see me if I am near you when I'm on tour.
Perfect. Once again, dude, I couldn't appreciate it more, because I think you've opened up the whole concept of what Party on a Podcast will be. The standard has changed from now on, which we
revolutionize things, bro. That's what we do here. Revolution Media.
Yeah.
Revolutionize. We're gonna change up the narrative and make this more easier, chill, and more fun and relaxed for everybody. Trust me, artists don't want to be interviewed. They want to just be talked to and have a good time. So I know you relate to that too. So
yeah. I appreciate, because I mean, like, side note before we end this, I've always hated the way that artists interact, especially with each other at shows. It's like, hey, what's up? Let's collab sometime. And that's literally the end of the conversation. It never goes further than that. So this is what I'm trying to introduce to at least local artists to me, if not more, because you're not local to me, which is great, because I'm starting to expand this podcast a little further. So it's appreciated that a conversation can happen between artists, as opposed to just hey, what's up, daps, and that's it. So I mean, I appreciate you, bro. I really do. Especially I've been following you over the years, and it's been nothing but an uphill climb, but at the same time in the best way, because you're on the trajectory that you have is something to be inspired by me, by other artists, and I look forward to seeing what you can do over these next few years, my dude.
Yeah, man. You too, man. Looking forward to hearing some of that stuff that you're sitting on.
Yeah.
There. All right.
Yeah, man. Well, it's been a pleasure. And the natural conversation is what I look forward to, and we should do this again like next year and see where I've come and see where you've gone with it, and we'll do this all again.
Yeah, man. Hit me up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Right.
This has been another episode of Party on a Podcast with Robbie G and Mark. Thanks for tuning in, and until the next time. Peace.
Take a shot of sunlight, drink in my hand. Do it every week, put my feet in the sand. I can do it some.